Howdy ho there, people. Installment number 2 for 2018 for the Ziggity Zig.
It's what?
Installment number 2.
Oh, okay.
So I've done one video. This will be the second video. So we're back from truck. Don's back from, where'd you go, Poland?
Poland and
Or
Paris.
I'm not supposed to tell people, or you're going to kill me.
No. You're fine.
Yeah. You gotta worry about that kind of stuff with Don.
We'll need a new captain coming back.
So anyway, Don's going with us today. Something tells me the fish are going to take a hurting today. Sorry, fish. So, and Carlton too. So might take a hurting there too. Sometimes Carlton takes a hurting though instead of the fish.
He gets wrapped up.
Yeah. So it's gonna be flat today. It's gonna be flat all week. Getting out early so that we can beat the tide at the inlet. Other than that, that's it. Let's do it. Okay, it's tutorial time. How to dive like Woodby. Here you go. You see my float right there to the left. I've got a diver there. And as we pan past the zigzag, you'll see I've got another float on the other side of the boat. I've got another diver over there. So this particular day it was really flat. I generally don't run two divers at the same time on two different floats or two sets of divers at any given time, unless it's really flat like it was today, or this day I should say. So I've got actually two different divers down on two different ledges. They're close by. Sometimes it would be the same ledge, but in this case there's two ledges that diverge, so they're actually on two completely different pieces of hard bottom. Carlton's on one and Don's on the other, and they shot some fish on this dive. But I mostly just kind of want to talk to you a little bit about how we do business. So we dive this way so that you have the ability to be free of the boat, because you can see the boat is sitting here just floating, waiting for fish to come up. What that allows the diver to do is be able to roam around with a marker buoy, a float, and dive wherever he wants to dive. Roam around without having to worry about coming back to an anchor line and planning for how much air that is going to be required to get back to the boat and make your ascent and all that stuff. So you pretty much just roam around until you are low on air or time, and then you come up. So here you see that I've got one float over there, and I've got a fish float that just came up. So what the boat's going to do is, you can see the diver is directly underneath that buoy, and that tells me where the diver's at. So the boat can go over and actually retrieve the fish once the fish comes up. So why do we do that? Well, the diver's on the bottom shooting fish. Instead of having to come carry a dead fish or a bleeding fish all the way back to the boat and up the anchor line and having to deal with all that time holding a fish that could still be struggling, he sends the fish up on a float. So as soon as the float breaks the water, the boat comes over, grabs the float, pulls the fish out of the water, throws it in the cooler. So the time of shooting the fish to fish on the surface could be as little as 30 seconds or less, depends. And what that does is free up the diver to not have to worry about sharks, not have to worry about that fish hanging on him. He can concentrate on shooting fish and sending the fish up and getting it away from him. There's a big advantage there, and of course, like I said before, you get the advantage of being free from the boat until the end of the dive. See, I thought Beth was trying to actually stab a lionfish with her spear gun right here. That's why I keep shaking my head. No, because that was a bad idea. Having something poisonous on the end of your spear that you can't get off is a potential problem. But she wasn't doing that at all. She was actually trying to get ready to get this lobster that we go over and get. So that's what was going on there. So I was kind of disappointed because we missed the ledge we were actually trying to dive on. I think we actually ended up diving on the back side of the ledge that I wanted to dive on. And the disappointment continued because this lobster had eggs. So the day had pretty much been off to a disappointing start up until this point, and we started running around. I was running everywhere. I was running one ledge to another, and I just was not finding the fish I was looking for. So I decided to run pretty far south, actually, on a track that I don't normally run. Well, I marked the bottom. You need to pay attention to the bottom scope. Sometimes when you run a direction you don't normally run, you hit something you wouldn't normally see. So the ledge looked good. It wasn't very big, but I decided to check it out. So I sent Don down on it, and he shot a stud. That's what you got to do. Sometimes you just got to stop and do an experiment. Sometimes it pays off, like it did today. I hadn't even got to the bottom yet. Carlton had already shot a fish and sent it up, as you can see in the video, and then I'm still not even at the bottom yet, and Beth turns around and shoots a gag too. I'm like, come on. Let a brother get to the bottom before y'all start killing things, man. Come on. I don't even know what happened there. I don't. I mean, I shot low. I know that, but yeah, that was just ridiculous.